Welcome to the TriStar Gym channel. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about how to mix your wrestling with your jiu-jitsu. Okay. Now, I really feel that it's really important that competitors wrestle. Okay. It's very important. It's not enough to just do jiu-jitsu. Now, at the gym, at the TriStar Gym, a lot of us do jiu-jitsu, of course. A lot of us roll on the ground, and a very large amount of us also wrestle standing up. Okay, once we wrestle on the ground, once we do some jiu-jitsu rounds on the ground and we're nicely warmed up, then we like to stand up and start the match on the feet. Okay, now you'll see a lot of guys at the gym also don't like to wrestle standing up. They just free roll on the ground. That's okay too. But for the competitors, the guys who are competing in the gym and all that, especially the MMA guys, I like to encourage them a lot to wrestle. Okay, now when you wrestle with jiu-jitsu, it's a very different dynamic, because when you shoot in your partner's legs, your partner now can try to guillotine you, armbar you, kimura. And that's why you see, like the way I'm shooting here, let me rewind this just a little bit here. You'll notice that whenever I shoot, I always keep my head up. Okay, why am I keeping my head up? Because in a jiu-jitsu / wrestling match, if I were to put my head too low, there's me grabbing behind the knee, my head is up. If I put my head too low, I can get guillotined, I can get caught in a kimura. You could see that my head is up, my hands are locked into the crotch. This is the position I like to be in. I don't like to be in on a leg with my head down. If my head is down, I can get caught in an anaconda choke, Darce choke. Here I'm probably going to go to a body lock here eventually. I really like the body lock takedown. There's an ukigoshi. Why? It's just really hard to kimura somebody who does that. It's really hard to, guillotine them or drop into an anaconda choke. And here I'm going to let my partner go and wrestle again. Okay, see if I can get past those guillotines, those arm drags, those sliding leg locks, etc. It just adds that jiu-jitsu dynamic to the wrestling. Now, not everybody at the gym likes to wrestle standing up on their feet, okay? But a lot of us do. So once we're warmed up, after we've done a few rounds of guard or back control, we're going to start going standing up. And it's feet to floor, guys. We're going from the feet to the ground. We're going to stabilize the position. Here's my partner taking me down. I'm going to flow into K-guard. He has to stabilize me. If he doesn't stabilize me, the match continues, okay? So stabilizing him, your opponent means like kind of like scoring half guard and stopping him from scrambling or getting to his back, for instance, putting the hooks in or getting to mount. And if your partner's in the middle of an escape, you have to keep going. Okay, so the match continues. Here we are again. I'm trying to shoot in my opponent's legs. I'm trying to arm drag him. I'm trying to underhook him, all without giving him guillotine, anaconda choke. There's another shot. Let's look at that again. Here's what we call a Korean single. Okay. This is a really important detail. I like to shoot Korean singles. What's a Korean single? A Korean single is when you kind of spear your head into his chest. Okay, you go into a single leg, but your head is kind of up. You see, my chest is not touching his leg. A lot of people kind of shoot their upper body, and they connect their chest to the leg. You'll see the way I'm shooting. Look at all this space between my chest and his leg. I don't want my chest connected to his leg. I don't want to bring my head down. All I have to do is lock my hands behind his knee, and I spear him in the chest with my forehead. Now, a lot of times also you can post with your hand in the chest. Okay, more on that in the future. But I'm pushing him back with my head, and I'm pulling in this direction with my knees. I'm never lowering my upper body. If I lower my upper body, that's when I can get trapped in a kimura. I can get guillotined. So you see my head is up. You see, I'm keeping my head up. This is really important. Here, I'm locking my hands in a single. Here, I'm moving my partner around. I'm trying to score a single. Whether I miss the single or not, I don't want to expose my neck to guillotines or anaconda chokes. Here, I was able to run the pipe. The mat is very slippery, guys. Here, actually, this is later in the practice. This is much later. A lot of the guys finished rolling now. They're home already. They're on their way home. The mats are slippery, so we're not shooting with full force here, because it's actually quite difficult to do once the mat gets sweaty. But we're still having fun wrestling here. I like to shoot my single with my head up and hips down. Super important. If my head goes down, a strong guy can kind of put me in a strangle or throw me over the top. Flip me over. Once I land, he'll flip me over. There it is. There's another snatch single, or Korean single, as I like to call it. Okay. Let me rewind here. Notice the head position. The head position is spearing into the chest. I'm just grabbing the knee with my hands. I'm keeping my arms very long. Okay, this is the secret here. This is the key. Okay, a lot of people throw their upper body. They throw their shoulder into the hip bone. Okay, they kind of spear with their shoulder. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's good wrestling, and that's proper technique as well. This is just a different approach. And the reason why I'm doing it like this is because I want to protect my neck from any exposure. Now, you'll see that, I didn't get a single leg. However, I also didn't expose my neck. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with the traditional way of shooting, spearing with your shoulder. However, it does come with some risk. Okay, so here I'm just trying to spear him with the forehead. A lot of people ask me, when you spear with the forehead like that, how do you stop, how do you protect your neck? It's not a question of hitting him hard. It's a question of just kind of posting with your forehead. I'm not driving through. I'm not like, going full out here. I'm just kind of shooting, grabbing the back of his knee and posting my head on his chest. Okay. And it also has a lot to do with kind of dropping your hips underneath, getting a good level change. Here's my partner. He's exposing his neck. Here, let me see if I could stuff his head here. I'm sprawling. I'm stuffing the head. This is why I don't like to kind of like get the shoulder into the thigh. See how he kind of exposed his upper body? Nothing wrong with this, guys. This is very commonly taught, and it's 100% correct. It's just a different approach. I do this myself sometimes. Sometimes I will shoot in deep. But I find myself mostly shooting in very shallow, just locking my hands around the knee, not committing my upper body to his thigh. Okay, that way I can maintain my posture. Let's see if I get in the legs one more time. Again, guys, the mat is very sweaty, so you can see kind of like we're shooting halfway because we don't have that much traction right here. That's the downside of not wearing shoes when you're wrestling. Here's me doing an Ashi slide. That's also something I like to do. Once I've shot the legs a few times, I like to get the guy, I like to keep him guessing, I like to slide into the legs, and there you saw me immediately attack the upper body. My partner, he knows I do that move. You saw he just kind of dropped to his knees. He did the correct defense, so I had to follow up with a pinch on the shoulder. I show that maneuver in my dynamic butterfly guard video if you guys want to check it out. And I pinch the shoulder and do a butterfly sweep. Here's me doing a limp arm, getting to front headlock and bringing him down to the mat. Of course, front headlocks are great. Front headlock is a very, very good way to take your partner down. Here we're wrestling. The red mat is actually a suspended floor. There's actually a wooden platform underneath these mats. Okay, there's another Ashi slide. That's a knee pick Ashi slide. I showed that Ashi Volume 2. Here, my partner, he was expecting it. You saw he dropped to his knees, but I was still able to elevate him. A lot of the guys at the gym know I do that move now. So they're kind of, they're waiting for it. And when the mat is sweaty like the way it is right now, sometimes it's a really easy move to pull off because you're sliding underneath. And when you don't have that much traction to shoot, it could be a very good option. I also like doing Ashi slide when my opponent is very tall. I find I have a much easier time doing it against big, tall opponents. Okay, here I am now. I'm probably going to shoot another single here. Let's see what happens. My partner looks like he's primed to shoot. There he is. He gets in on a double. He's committing his upper body. He's going to score here. Here, I'm going to try to turn my knees to the mat and escape my knees, stuffing the head. And I think that is the end of the round. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you picked up a lot of nice tips, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you.